Today is the day. I have it in my hands, the long-awaited, highly anticipated Analogue 3D. I love the sleek, clean aesthetic of my Analogue Pocket, and it's become one of my favorite ways to play Game Boy games. I don't want another device that does everything in my pocket. I like the fact that you can play your original cartridges on a device that has been brought into the modern world. And that is exactly what Analogue have done again with the N64. Look at this ginormous black box. There is not a single thing on this box. They have been so careful with what they've been showing us about the N64, the remake, the Analogue 3D. And today we finally get to look inside this box and see what it's all about. Here we go, cutting open the box. I haven't actually looked at this yet, and I'm so excited for it. I had to save my reaction for the camera. So here we go. Let's take a look. Whoa. Okay. Immediately, very cool. On their press release stuff, they've been going with this yellow look, and I'm a big fan. The black and the yellow is just beautiful. Wow, okay, so there's this smaller box inside the box, which makes me wonder, what is in this box? Please be a Bluetooth controller, because I don't have one, please. Please, please, please. I like it! Look, there's more boxes inside the box. Wow. Okay, what are these boxes for? My greasy fingers are staining the matte black. There's 4 boxes inside. Have they sent me 4 Bluetooth controllers? Is that what they've done? Yes. Okay, well that's very cool. Here it is, the review kit. The Analogue 3D, and I just love Analogue's branding, the packaging, just so sleek, no frills, but everything that it needs to be. Here we go, lifting the lid, boom, oh. This is it. If you were to be bringing back the N64 into the modern world, how would you design it? How would it look? Would it be sleek? And would it have the iconic, tasteful characteristics of the original N64? Yes, it would. Yes, it would be this. And just look on the back. That is what it's all about right there. The HDMI port. I can't believe this. Honestly, I know the N64 wasn't exactly everyone's favorite console, but for me, the N64 has a very, very special place in my heart. When my mum bought me a 3DS for Christmas, probably over a decade and a half ago, I was bought Ocarina of Time with that, and I bought an N64 when I first got a little bit of cash, and I bought Ocarina of Time, and I played the original N64 version through from start to finish, absolutely hooked. And I will be doing that again with this, and I cannot wait. Let's see what else is in this box. So I'm presuming this is exactly how it's going to be when you purchase one. If you manage to get one, they've already sold out. They did the pre-orders, they've already sold out. What's likely going to happen is they'll do a whole another run, then they'll probably do another one, and if it's anything like the Analogue, they'll probably then, the Analogue Pocket, sorry, they'll probably then release some custom colors and stuff. So you've got some USB-C cables here by the looks of things. Let's have a quick look. Oh no, this is an HDMI cable actually. So this one is your HDMI, and then this one is going to be your USB-C. They've sent me a wall plug, which is for the US. Really small. My goodness, that is so cool. And that is probably... Oh no, hang on, there's one last thing. It's glued to the bottom. Wait a minute. What? Look at this little thing, hang on. So this is your instruction manuals. You've got some stickers, FPGA and the Analogue logo, Analogue quick start guide. I mean, I suppose that's everything you need really, isn't it? No frills, everything you need, including a little tiny little set of cartridge cleaners. Because, of course, this plays original cartridges. What is... Hang on, wait a minute. Come out. Oh, this is the world's strongest glue. Analogue, I'm already angry. Here we go. Oh, there it is. Right, it's basically just a sponge. So that's to clean your cartridges. Cool. So here is an original N64, and here is the Analogue 3D. They've basically taken the design of the N64, removed these things, which I'm kind of sad about. There is a port on the bottom of the original one. There is not on this, so anybody hoping that this is going to play the 64DD, you can't, which affects about 2 people. There's also no flap on the top. That is because the expansion pack is built in on this. There is, of course, the 4 controller ports on the front. No big N64 logo, which is also kind of sad, but I suppose it goes with their modern sleek thing of just having their little logo up there. So here we have the controller, the little nubby one from Hori, which is actually much nicer than the original one. And look, if you didn't believe them, it plugs in. Oh man, and it has such a nice weight to it. Absolutely beautiful. Well, I suppose we just need to plug it in and look at the games now. So first things first, it's absolutely fantastic. This is a dream come true for N64 fans. Analogue have smashed this out of the park. You literally just plug in a game and it works. On the 8-bit DOE controller, you can press this button and it will open up the menu. Here is where you can tinker with the picture options. Analogue have carefully constructed display modes which are applied at FPGA level. These faithfully recreate the effects of CRT, BVM and PVM screens. Of course, many people won't know what these differences look like or what any of this means, but just know that you can endlessly play around with these video settings to get the game to look exactly how you like it. Some people will want to give it a clean modern look, so you can apply the clean mode and add some sharpening, or you can add some scan lines. Remember, these games were made with these old screens in mind. So for example, the scanline mode will make some games look much better. But if all of this is too complicated, well, don't worry, because every game automatically loads with the settings that are already optimized to suit that game. And any changes that you do make are saved only within that game. For those of you who don't already know, Analogue are the masters of FPGA. The system itself is basically a full hardware recreation of the N64, but running on FPGA. That means it plays original cartridges from any region and works with the classic controller and accessories. This is not emulation. The FPGA also gave Analogue the possibility to massively improve on what the N64 ever was. They've been able to create automatic overclocking for certain games which required more power from the N64, but previously couldn't get it. Games like Perfect Dark, for example. Paired with the 8-bit DOE controller, this becomes the ultimate package. The Bluetooth controller even rumbles where your rumble pack in your controller would. And if you want to use a rumble pack in an original controller, of course you can. Connecting the Bluetooth controller is super easy. You press this button on the 3D and this button on the controller. This light lights up and so does that one, and boom, done. Fancy multiplayer? Well, just repeat that with another controller. Or 4. The operating system is fantastic. It's called 3DOS and is designed so that you can just turn it on and start playing. Of course, you can dig deeper, as I've mentioned, but this is an extremely sophisticated device made effortlessly simple for ease of use for the average person. Analogue have done it again. This is just such a phenomenal piece of kit. Inside and out, hardware and software, it is not far from perfection. What would have made it perfect? If you could actually buy one. Unfortunately, with Analogue comes unavailability. It feels so weird sitting here making a video about something like, there'll be a link to it in the description. You can't buy one though. You can't buy one. I'd be better off leaving my eBay affiliate link because people will no doubt have scalped 2 on the pre-order and shoved one up on eBay to pay for the other one. So yeah, a little bit of a bittersweet thing for a lot of people. They really will want this and they're gonna have to just sit tight and wait. And the people that did manage to get it have been waiting a long time as well. So Analogue do just take quite a long time to do stuff. I can't comment on it and I don't know why and I don't know when there'll be more. It is a little bit of a shame, but that is the only nitpick I would have with something like this. Everything else for me is just fantastic. I'm someone that isn't too bogged down by all of the software technical stuff. And like I said with my Analogue Pocket, I like to just plug in a game and play it. I'm not fussed about emulation and super complex stuff with all of these different things that you can do. I just want to plug in a game, sit down and enjoy it, much like the original thing. I'm really not that much of a technical wizard, hence why this video is probably a little bit light on some of those details. But one thing I am really curious about, because let's face it, as brilliant as this is, it is just a device that plays the original cartridges on an HD TV. And yes, you can use a Bluetooth controller and stuff, but those do exist for the N64. And actually, I'll be honest, I'm gonna stick with using this. The Bluetooth controller is pretty great, and I'll definitely use that when I've got friends and I want to play multiplayer, but for playing an actual proper game, I am going to be using my N64 controller, my hoary one. Something about the Bluetooth just doesn't quite feel right. So that's just personal preference, but that has got me thinking, what if you just use this? How different is the HDMI coming out of here to something like this? And if you're like me and you're not going to get bogged down by all of the technical software stuff, would this be sufficient? This, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is an HDMI adapter. This company and a few others have made loads of these before for lots of different devices, and this only costs £20, less than a tenth of the Analogue 3D. And you just plug it straight into the back of here, and there you have it, HDMI. So what's the difference right now? I already had this, and this was £250 plus shipping and fees. It's probably 300 and you can't even buy it. And all I'm gonna be doing is plugging in this controller and this game and then outputting it with HDMI. So let's compare, Starting off with the AV directly into my capture card. I'm sure this is the same as what a generic AV to HDMI adapter would look like. Soft, underwhelming, and soft. Next up, the £20 adapter. Honestly, not bad at all. Let's do a side by side, and yeah, clearly sharpened up the image from the original AV. The colors are far more saturated though, which I'm not really a fan of, but you could just adjust this on your TV, and it would look a bit like this. But what about the Analogue? Well, this is clearly superior. Even with the 3D on the soft display mode, it is visibly sharper. And this does make a big difference on a 40-inch 4K screen in your living room. Not to mention, there are details that have been brought out by the 3D that we may have missed all those years ago. Well, I think what we learned from that was that clearly the Analogue is much better. It is clearly clearer. This little HDMI adapter is pretty fantastic, and I wanted to show this one because it's only £20. They actually do make a better one, which is 50, but yeah, this really is just two completely different ends of the spectrum. You have the total average customer that just dug their N64 out of their attic and just wants to play it on their TV. And then this on the other end of the spectrum is a very high-end thing. There is so much more to it than just how clear the image is that comes out of it, but obviously it's a night and day difference. But it can't take away from the fact that we can't actually get one right now, which does conclude this video by me mentioning that this will be on eBay for quadruple the price.